Hello students and good morning. So now I am doing class for class 10. The topic is sphere. So in the last online class also we were doing the same topic, sphere, and in that online class we did some problem on sphere. So today we will do very short answer type question from the topic sphere. So let us work out exercise 12, page number 184 from the book Ganit Prakash for class 10 by West Bengal Board of Secondary Education. So let's start the problem now. So now this is question number 15, very short answer type questions, that is VSA. So let us do multiple choice question type, that is MCQ. So question number 1 here is, number 1 is the volume of a solid sphere having the radius of 2r units length is A 32 pi r cube by 3 cubic unit, number B 16 pi r cube divided by 3 cubic unit, and number C 8 pi r cube divided by 3 cubic unit, and number D 64 pi r cube divided by 3 cubic unit. So which is the correct answer? You have to choose the correct option out here. So in this case, what is given? The radius of the sphere is given as 2r units. You have to check the correct value for volume of the solid sphere having the radius of 2r units. So from A, B, C, D, you have to choose the correct option. So let us do this now. So now what is the radius of the sphere? So this is the solution. Radius of the sphere. So radius of the sphere is equal to, how much is it? It is 2r units. Radius of the sphere is equal to 2r units. Now in this case you have to find out the volume of the solid sphere. Therefore volume of the solid sphere, so volume of the solid sphere is equal to, what is the formula that you can use here? It is 4 upon 3 pi r cube. This is the formula, right? But in this case, what is the radius r? Radius r is 2r. So instead of r, you have to write 2r. So which is equal to 4 upon 3 pi. What is r here? It is 2r whole cube. Is that clear? So let's simplify it. So now this is 4 by 3rd pi into, now this cube is for both 2 as well as r. So what is 2 cube? It is 8 into r cube. So which is equal to, this is 8 4s are 32 divided by 3. This is pi r cube. This is cubic unit. This is cubic unit. So which is the correct option out here? So number A is the correct answer. So let us write here. So therefore A 32 pi r cube, 32 pi r cube divided by 3 cubic unit is correct. So this is the final answer. So in this case you should know the formula of the volume of the solid sphere. So if you know the formula for volume of the solid sphere, then you can easily do this problem. So this number A option is the correct answer. So you can copy it. Now we'll do the next problem. So now we'll do the next question, that is question number 2, that is also from multiple choice question. So question number 2 is, if the ratio of the volumes of two solid spheres, if the ratio of the volumes of two solid spheres is 1:8, then the ratio of the curved surface areas is, you have to choose the correct option, whether it is A 1:2, whether it is B 1:4, number C 1:8, or number D 1:16. You have to choose the correct option. So what is given here? The ratio of the volumes of two solid spheres is given. It is 1:8. You have to find out the ratio of their curved surface area. So here the options are given A, B, C and D. So which is the correct option? You have to check it. Okay. So let us assume the radius of the two solid sphere. So in order to find out the volume or in order to find out the curved surface area, you should know the radius of the sphere. So let us assume the radius of these two spheres. Okay, so now the solution is, let R1 and R2 be the radius, let R1 and R2 be the radius of the two spheres, let R1 and R2 be the radius of the two spheres. Okay, so let us find out their volumes first, because the ratio of the volumes of the two solid spheres is given, that is 1:8. So let us find out their volume. So volume of the first sphere, so volume of the first sphere is equal to, what is the formula? 4/3 pi R1 cube. That is the volume of the first sphere, right? So similarly, what is the volume of the second sphere? Volume of the second sphere. So volume of the second sphere is equal to, this is 4/3 pi R2 cube. Is that clear? Now in the question, the ratio of the volume of the two solid spheres is given, that is 1:8. So we can write here V1 is to V2 is equal to 1:8. Okay, so we can write it in terms of fraction. So V1 upon V2 is equal to 1/8. Is that clear? Next, what is V1 here? What is V1 here? V1 is this one. V1 means volume of the first sphere. What is it? It is 4/3 pi R1 cube divided by 4/3 pi R2 cube, which is equal to 1/8. So here you can cancel 4/3 and pi gets cancels. So now what is R1 cube divided by R2 cube? You can write it within whole cube because both are cube here. R1 cube divided by R2 cube can be written as, R1 cube divided by R2 cube can be written as, this is R1 upon R2 whole cube is equal to, this is 1/8. This is 1/8. Now you have to find out R1 by R2 only. That is R1 by R2 whole cube is equal to 1/8. So how can you get the value for R1 divided by R2 now? Now you know that laws of indices, if the powers are equal, bases must be equal. This is known as the base. R1 by R2 is known as the base. 1/8 is also the base. So you have to write 1/8 in terms of whole cube. Which fraction whole cube is 1/8? Which fraction whole cube is 1/8? That is 1/2 whole cube. So, or this is R1 by R2 whole cube is equal to, so how will you write 1/8? It is half whole cube. Is that clear? So since powers are equal, these bases must be equal. That is R1 upon R2 is equal to 1/2. That is, what is the ratio of the radii of the two spheres? It is 1/2 or 1:2. I think you have understood it. Okay. Now what is to be calculated here? You have to find out the ratio of the curved surface area. You have to find out the ratio of the curved surface area of the two solid spheres. So let us write down the formula for curved surface area of the first sphere. Therefore, curved surface area of the first sphere. Therefore, curved surface area of the first sphere is, what is the formula? 4 pi R1 square. Curved surface area of the sphere भनेको त्यो स्फियर को बाहिरको वरिपरिको एरियाको फर्मुला के हो? 4 pi R1 square. This is the curved surface area of the first sphere, which is equal to 4 pi R1 square. Similarly, curved surface area of the second sphere is equal to, how much is it? It is 4 pi R2 square. So I think I've understood it. Okay. Now we have to find out the ratio of their curved surface area. You have to find out the ratio of their curved surface area. So in order to get the ratio, let us write these two curved surface area in terms of fraction. That is, therefore, curved surface area of first sphere divided by, in order to get the ratio of their curved surface area, let us write down these two curved surface area in terms of fraction. Okay, so curved surface area of first sphere divided by what? Divided by curved surface area of second sphere. Okay, so which is equal to, what is the curved surface area of the first sphere? It is 4 pi r1 square divided by 4 pi r2 square. Is that clear? So we can cancel here, 4 pi gets cancels, which is equal to r1 by r2 whole square. Just now we have calculated the value for r1 upon r2. So r1 upon r2 here is half. So you can write r1 by r2 is equal to half whole square. So this is half whole square is equal to 1/4. So now you can write down the ratio of the curved surface area. So this fraction can be written in terms of ratio now. So what is the ratio of the curved surface area? Therefore, ratio of their curved surface area, areas. So ratio of their curved surface areas is equal to, this fraction can be written in terms of ratio, that is 1:4. So this is the correct answer. So which is the correct option out here? It is number B. So let us write here, therefore B, 1:4 is correct. So this is the final answer. That is number B, 1:4 is the correct answer. So I think I've understood it. So you can copy it. Now we'll do the next question now. So now we'll do the next question, that is question number 3. That is also from multiple choice question type. So question number 3 here is, the whole surface area of a solid hemisphere with length of 7 centimeter radius is, whether it is number A 588 pi square centimeter, number B 392 pi square centimeter, number C 147 pi square centimeter, and D 98 pi square centimeter. So which is the correct option? You have to check it. Now in this case, a solid hemisphere is given. What do you mean by hemisphere? It is exactly half of the sphere, and this is the solid hemisphere. So its figure will be like this. This is the solid hemisphere. It is just like a bowl, right? It is just like a bowl. So this is the solid hemisphere. Is that clear? And in this case, the radius of the solid hemisphere is given. What is the radius of the solid hemisphere? The radius of the solid hemisphere is, it is given as 7 centimeter. So radius of the solid hemisphere is 7 centimeter. So now in this case, you have to find out the whole surface area of the solid hemisphere. That means you have to find out the total surface area of the solid hemisphere. So I think you have understood it. So you should know the formula for whole surface area of the solid hemisphere. So what is the whole surface area of the solid hemisphere? It is, this is half of the sphere. So its curved surface area will be 2 pi r square. You know that, isn't it? 2 pi r square will be the curved surface area of the solid hemisphere. And you have to add this 4-part portion of the hemisphere. The 4-part means यो अघिल्लो भाग सर्कल हुन्छ हैन एउटा बोलको जुन चाहिँ फोर पार्ट अफ द बोल छ त्यो फोर पार्ट अफ द बोल विल बी अ सर्कल. व्हाट इज द फर्मुला फर एरिया अफ द सर्कल? इट इज पाई आर स्क्वायर. So 2 pi r square plus pi r square will be equal to 3 pi r square. So what is the whole surface area of the solid hemisphere? It will be 3 pi r square. So you have to add the area of the four part of the solid hemisphere. So I think you have understood it. So let us do this problem now. What is the radius? So radius is equal to 7 centimeter. That is the value for r. Therefore whole surface area of the solid hemisphere is equal to, what is the formula? It is 3 pi r square. So let us put the value now, which is equal to 3 pi. What is r whole square? It is 7 whole square, which is equal to 3 pi into 49. Now let us multiply it. This is 3 9s are 27. 3 9s are 27. 7 2. 3 4s are 12 plus 2 is 14. 147 pi. Unit is square centimeter. So this is the correct option. So which is the correct option out here? It is number C. Therefore number C, 147 pi square centimeter is correct. So this is the correct answer. That is 147 pi square centimeter is correct. So you can copy it. Now we'll do the next problem now. Now let's do the next question, that is 15A number 4. The question is, if the ratio of curved surface area of the two solid spheres is 16:9, then the ratio of the volumes is number A 64:27, number B 4:3, number C 27:64, and number D 3:4. Which is the correct option? You have to choose the correct option out here. So what is given in the question? The ratio of the curved surface area of the two solid spheres is given as 16:9. So in this case, you have to find out the ratio of their volumes. So which is the correct option? You have to choose the correct option from A, B, C and D. So which is the correct option in this case? तो यहाँ क्वेश्चन में के दिएको छ, दुईटा सलिड स्फियर छ, त्यो दुईटा सलिड स्फियर को कर्व सर्फेस एरिया को रेशियो चाहिँ दिएको छ, that is 16:9. त तिमीले के निकाल्नु पर्छ? रेशियो अफ द भोल्युम्स. त यी चारवटा यहाँ आन्सर दिएको छ, त कुन चाहिँ करेक्ट अप्सन हो? यु हेभ टु चेक इट. ओके, सो नाउ इन अर्डर टु गेट द कर्व सर्फेस एरिया अफ द कर्व सर्फेस एरिया, in order to get the curved surface areas or volume of the sphere, you should know the radius of the sphere. So let us assume the radii of the two spheres. Okay, so this is the solution now. Let R1 and R2 be the radii of the two solid spheres. Now in the question, ratio of their curved surface areas is given. That's why you have to write down the formula from curved surface area. हामी यहाँ के को फर्मुला लेख्छौं? पहिला कर्व सर्फेस एरिया अफ द फर्स्ट स्फियर एज वेल एज कर्व सर्फेस एरिया अफ द सेकेन्ड स्फियर. सो कर्व्ड surface area of the first sphere is equal to, how much is it? It is 4 pi r1 square. Is that clear? That is the, what is the formula for curved surface area of the first sphere? It is 4 pi r1 square. So similarly, curved surface area of the second sphere of the second sphere is equal to 4 pi r2 square. Is that clear? So now what will you do in the next step? Since their ratios, that is the ratio of the curved surface area of the two solid spheres is given as 16:9. So यो फर्मुलालाई हामी in terms of ratio or in terms of fraction लेख्छौं. That is by question their ratio, that is ratio means 4 pi r1 square is to 4 pi r2 square is equal to how much is it given? It is 16:9. This is given as 16:9. So I think I've understood it. So let us simplify it. Ratio can be written in terms of fraction, you know that. So it is 4 pi r1 square divided by 4 pi r2 square is equal to 16 divided by 9. I think I've understood it. Okay. So here you can cancel this 4 and pi gets cancels. And now this r1 square upon r2 square can be written in terms of whole square. That is r1 upon r2 whole square is equal to 16 by 9. Now you have to get the value for r1 upon r2. You know how to get the value for r1 upon r2. Therefore, r1 upon r2 is equal to, how can you find out r1 upon r2 is equal to, that is square root of 16 by 9. That is root over, this is 16 by 9. What is square root of 16 by 9? This is 4 by 3. You know that, isn't it? Or r1 upon r2 is equal to, this is 4 upon 3. So let us mark it number 1. So now what is to be calculated in this case? You have to find out the ratio of the volumes of the two solid spheres. You have to get the ratio of the volumes of the two solid spheres. So now let us write down the formula for volume of the first sphere. So volume of the first sphere, volume of first sphere is equal to 4/3 pi r1 cube, right? What is the volume of the second sphere? Therefore, volume of second sphere is equal to 4/3 pi r2 cube. I think you have understood it. अब हामी यसको के निकाल्छौं? Ratio निकाल्छौं. Let us find out their ratio now. So let us write it in terms of fraction. That is volume of first sphere divided by what? Volume of second sphere, right? So volume of second sphere, which is equal to, so let us put their values. Volume of the first sphere is 4/3 pi r1 cube divided by 4/3 pi r2 cube. Okay, so here you can cancel this 4/3 and this pi will be cancelled. Now you can write it in terms of whole cube, that is r1 cube divided by r2 cube can be written as r1 by r2 whole cube, that is r1 by r2 whole cube, which is equal to, now just now from 1 we know the value for r1 upon r2, which is equal to 4/3. So which is equal to, this is 4/3 whole cube, which is equal to, now 4/3 whole cube. Now this power 3 is for both numerator as well as denominator. What is 4 cube? That is your 64. 4 whole cube means 4 is multiplied thrice. 4 into 4 into 4, that is your 64. And 3 cube means 3 is multiplied thrice, that is 3 into 3 into 3, that is your 27. So which is equal to 64:27. So what is the ratio of the volumes? In this case, you should know the ratio of the volumes. That is ratio of the volume of the solid sphere. So what is the ratio of the volume of the two solid sphere? It is 64:27. So which is the correct option out here? This number A is the correct option, that is 64:27. So therefore number A 64 is to 27 is 64 is to 27 is correct. So this is the final answer. So I think I've understood it. So this question is very, very important. So you can copy it. Now we'll do the next question. So now we'll do the next question, that is question number 5. If the numerical value of curved surface area of a solid sphere is 3 times of its volume, then the length of radius is number A 1 unit, number B 2 unit, number C 3 unit, and number D is 4 unit. You have to choose the correct option. So in this case, it is given that the numerical value of the curved surface area of a solid sphere is 3 times of its volume. So you have to find out the length of the radius. So which is the correct option here? Number A 1 unit, number B 2 unit, number C 3 unit, and number D 4 unit. So what is given out here? The curved surface area of a solid sphere is 3 times of its volume. So this is the condition given in the question. So in this case, you have to find out the length of the radius of the sphere. Is that clear? So let us find it. तो यहाँ के भन्दैछ क्वेशनमा कुनै एउटा सलिड स्फियर छ, त्यसको कर्व सर्फेस एरिया, सो इट्स कर्व सर्फेस एरिया इज 3 टाइम्स इट्स भोल्युम. त्यसको कर्व सर्फेस एरिया चाहिँ भोल्युमको भन्दा 3 गुना ज्यादा छ. त यदि कुनै एउटा सलिड स्फियरको कर्व सर्फेस एरिया भोल्युमको भन्दा 3 गुना ज्यादा छ भने त्यो सलिड स्फियरको रेडियस कति हुन्छ भनेर सोध्दैछ यसमा क्वेशनमा. So let us do this solution now. So the solution is, so in this case, you have to write down the radius of the solid sphere. Let us assume it. Let R be the radius of the solid sphere. Let R be the radius of the solid sphere. Let R be the radius of the solid sphere. So let us write down the curved surface area first. So curved surface area. So curved surface area is equal to, what is the formula for curved surface area? You know that it is 4 pi r square. And what is its volume? Therefore, volume is equal to, what is the formula for volume? Volume is 4/3 pi r cube. Volume is 4/3 pi r cube. So these are the formulae, right? Now by question it is given that the curved surface area is equal to 3 times its volume. So by question you can write down that curved surface area, by question curved surface area is equal to 3 times of its volume. 3 into volume. 3 times its volume. 3 into volume, right? So what is the curved surface area here? It is 4 pi r square is equal to 3 into, what is the volume in this case? It is 4 by 3 pi r cube. I think I've understood it. So let us simplify it. Here 3 gets cancels. Or this is 4 pi r square is equal to 4 pi r cube, right? So here also we can cancel this, 4 gets cancels, pi gets cancels. Now here in this case r square and cube will be cancelled, which is 1 is equal to r. That means r is equal to 1. So here r is equal to 1. Is that clear? So here the value for r is equal to 1. So what is the length of the radius? It is 1 unit. Therefore, you can write down the answer as length of radius is equal to, how much is it? It is 1 unit. So which is the correct option in this case? Number A is the correct option. So number A, 1 unit is correct. So 1 unit is correct. So is that clear to all of you? So this is the correct answer. So you can copy it. Now we'll do the next question now. So now we'll do next type of question, that is 15 number B. Let us write whether the following statements are true or false. So whether the given statements are true or false, you have to check it. Okay. So number 1 is, if we double the length of radius of a solid sphere, then the volume of the sphere will be doubled. Whether the statement is true or false, you have to check it. If the length of the radius of the sphere be doubled, then the volume of the sphere will be doubled. Whether the statement is correct or wrong, you have to check it. Okay. So let us assume the radius of the original sphere. Let R be the radius of the original sphere. Okay, let R be the radius of the original sphere. So what will be the volume of the original sphere now? Therefore, volume of the original sphere is equal to, what is the formula now? What is the volume of the original sphere? It is 4/3 pi r cube. Is that clear? Now, if we double the radius of the solid sphere, then you have to check whether the statement is correct or wrong. That is, the volume will also be doubled. The volume of the sphere will also be doubled. Whether the statement is true or false, you have to check it. Okay. Now, the radius is doubled. Let us multiply this radius by 2, because here the radius is doubled, isn't it? Now, if we double the length of the radius of the solid sphere, now the radius of the new sphere, radius of the new sphere will be doubled. Double means you have to multiply this original radius by 2. That is, if we double the radius of the new sphere, that is twice r. If the radius of the new sphere is twice r, then what will be the volume of the sphere now? Therefore, volume of the new sphere is equal, what is the formula first? It is 4/3 pi r cube, which is equal to 4/3 pi into, what is r whole cube? This is 2r whole cube, which is equal to 4/3 pi into, what is 2r whole cube? Now this cube is for both 2 as well as r. What is 2 whole cube? That is your 8, then it is r cube. It can be written as 8 into within bracket 4/3 pi r cube. So why is it written 8 multiplied by 4/3 pi r cube? Actually, this 4/3 pi r cube is the volume of the original sphere, isn't it? So which is equal to, it can be written as 8 into within bracket volume of the original sphere. Volume of the original sphere. Now, in this case, what is asked in the question? If we double the length of the radius of the solid sphere, then the volume of the sphere will be doubled. But in this case, we find that volume of the new sphere is equal to 8 times the volume of the original sphere. Is it doubled? No, it is 8 times. That is, volume of the new sphere is 8 times the volume of the original sphere, but it is not doubled. Double means it should be twice. Volume of the new sphere is equal to twice into volume of the original sphere by question. But we have got volume of the new sphere is 8 times the volume of the original sphere. So is the statement true? The statement is not true. That is, the statement is false. So here you can write down, therefore the statement is false. Therefore the statement is false. So I think you have understood it. So we can copy it. Now we'll do the next question. So now we'll do the next question, that is you have to check whether the given statement is true or false. That is number B, number 2. If the ratio of the curved surface areas of two hemispheres is 4:9. So in this case, the ratio of the curved surface areas of two hemispheres is given as 4:9. And the ratio of the lengths of radii is 2:3. You have to check whether the statement is true or false. If the ratio of the curved surface areas of two hemispheres is 4:9, then you have to check whether the ratio of the lengths of radii is 2:3. Whether the statement is true or false, you have to check it. Okay? A hemisphere means half of the sphere. It is given that the ratio of the curved surface areas means त्यो वरिपरिको एरिया मात्रै, त्यो बाहिरको एरिया जुन चाहिँ घुमेको एरिया हुन्छ, कर्भ भनेको घुमेको, त्यो जुन चाहिँ घुमेको छ त्यो घुमेको मात्रै एरिया, त्यो कर्भ सर्फेस भनेको त्यो जुन चाहिँ हेमिस्फियरमा जुन चाहिँ त्यो घुमेको पोर्सन हुन्छ हैन, यस्तो कर्भड एरिया हुन्छ, त्यो एरिया मात्रै हामीले यसमा लिनुपर्ने छ. That is the ratio of the curved surface area of the two hemisphere is 4:9. That is, what is the curved surface area of the hemisphere? That is 2 pi r square, excluding the 4 part of the hemisphere. त त्यसमा 4 part of the hemisphere चाहिँ हामीले एक्सक्लुड गर्नुपर्छ. खाली हामीले के लिनु पर्यो? कर्भ सर्फेस एरिया भनेको त्यो घुमेको एरिया मात्रै हामीले लिनु पर्यो. ठीक छ? So now you have to find out the ratio of the length of their radii. So let us assume the length of radii of the two hemisphere. Let R1 and R2 be the radii of the two hemispheres. Of the two hemispheres. Okay? Now let us find out their curved surface area. Therefore, curved surface area of first hemisphere is equal to, only curved surface area is mentioned out here. So what is the curved surface area of the first hemisphere? It is 2 pi r1 square. Similarly, you can write down the curved surface area of the second hemisphere. Curved surface area of second hemisphere is equal to 2 pi r2 square. I think you have understood it. So now, by question it is given that the ratio of the curved surface areas of two hemispheres is equal to 4:9. So we can write here by question you can write here 2 pi r1 square is to 2 pi r2 square is equal to, this is 4:9. I think I've understood it. Okay? So from here we can calculate the ratio of the lengths of their radii. Okay? So now let us write it in terms of fraction. That is 2 pi r1 square divided by 2 pi r2 square is equal to 4/9. So here you can cancel, 2 and pi gets cancels. So now in the next step, now since there is r1 square by r2 square, you can write it in terms of whole square. That is r1 upon r2 whole square. R1 upon r2 whole square is equal to, what is there on the right hand side? It is 4/9. So it is 4/9. So let us find out R1 upon R2. So or this is R1 upon R2 is equal to the square root of 4 upon 9. That is R1 upon R2 is equal to 2 upon 3. That is, what is the ratio of the lengths of the radii? You can find out R1 is to R2. So R1 is to R2 is equal to 2 is to 3. That means in the question also it is given that the ratio of lengths of radii is 2 is to 3. So this is the correct answer. That is 2 is to 3 is the correct answer. So the statement is true. Therefore, the statement is true. Therefore, the statement is true. So this is the final answer. So I think you have understood it. So you can copy it. Try to understand it. So now you can copy it. Now we'll do the next question. So now we'll do this next question, that is number C. This is also very short answer type question. So number C is, let us fill in the blanks. Okay. So question number 1 is the name of solid which is composed of only one surface. The solid which is composed of only one surface is what? That is a sphere. So यो sphere को खाली एउटै कर्व सर्फेस एरिया मात्रै छ हैन, यो sphere को चाहिँ एउटै surface मात्रै छ, that is the curved surface area. Okay, so the name of the solid which is composed of only one surface, that is only one surface here, is only the curved surface area. So the name of the solid which is composed of only one surface is sphere. It is sphere. Okay, now the number of plane surfaces of a solid hemisphere is what? एउटा solid hemisphere छ, hemisphere को आधीलाई हामी के भन्छौं, सरी sphere को आधीलाई, sphere को half of the sphere, sphere को ठीक आधा भागलाई हामी के भन्छौं, hemisphere. That is also solid. बुझ्दैछ? So the number of plane surfaces of a solid hemisphere is what? हैन, कतिवटा चाहिँ solid hemisphere को plane surfaces हरु हुन्छ त्यो लेख्नु पर्यो. त एउटा वरिपरिको एरियालाई हामी के भन्छौं, कर्व सर्फेस एरिया भइगयो थियो, त्यो प्लेन सर्फेस एरियामा आउँदैन. प्लेन सर्फेस एरिया चाहिँ कुन चाहिँमा आउँछ भन्दाखेरि द फोर पार्ट अफ द हेमिस्फियर. द फोर पार्ट अफ द हेमिस्फियर जुन चाहिँ माथिल्लो भाग हुन्छ, त्यो फोर पार्ट अफ द हेमिस्फियर जुन चाहिँ माथिल्लो भाग हुन्छ त्यो चाहिँ के हुन्छ, सर्कल. दिस इज द प्लेन सर्फेस. त त्यो सर्कल प्लेन सर्फेस एउटा मात्र हुन्छ. दैट इज द नम्बर अफ प्लेन सर्फेसेस अफ ए सलिड हेमिस्फियर इज 1. Okay, is that clear? That is the number of plane surfaces of a solid hemisphere is 1. That is the four part of the hemisphere is a circle. That is a plane surface. That is only one plane surface is there. So the number of plane surfaces of a solid hemisphere is always 1. Is that clear? So next, number 3. What is asked in number 3? If the length of radius of a solid hemisphere is 2r units, that is, there is a solid hemisphere. There is a solid hemisphere whose radius is 2r units. So its whole surface area is dash pi r square unit. You have to fill in the blank. Okay. Now let's do this solution. What is the radius? What is the radius of the hemisphere? It is 2r units. This is 2r units. Now in this case you have to find out the whole surface area of the solid hemisphere. Therefore whole surface area, therefore whole surface area of the solid hemisphere, of the solid hemisphere is equal. What is the formula? What is the formula for whole surface area of the solid hemisphere? That is your 3 pi r square. That is curved surface area of the hemisphere is 2 pi r square, and the four part of the hemisphere is the circle, that is your pi r square. So 2 pi r square plus pi r square is always 3 pi r square. So this is the whole surface area of the solid hemisphere. So which is equal to 3 pi. In this case, what is the radius of the hemisphere? 2r. That is your 2r whole square, which is equal to 3 pi into, this is your 4r square, which is equal to, this is 4 3s are 12, pi is pi r square. This is square units. So what will you write for this blank, for this space? Already pi r square is there. This is also 12 pi r square. And now pi r square is already there. So you should write here in the blank space, you should write 12. So this is your 12 pi r square square units. So this is the correct answer. So if the length of the radius of the solid hemisphere is 2r units, so its whole surface area is 12 pi r square square units. Pi r square square unit is already there, so you have to write only 12 in place of this blank space. So the correct answer is 12. So I think you have understood it. त आज हामीले यहाँ कतिवटा भेरी सर्ट एन्सर टाइप क्वेसन्सहरु गर्यौं, सबै इम्पोर्टेन्ट हो। त तिमीले यो घरमा राम्रोसँग प्र्याक्टिस गर्ने, बुझ्ने चेष्टा गर्नु, बुझेन मलाई तिमीले कल गर्न सक्छौ अथवा यु क्यान कमेन्ट मी, ओके। तिमीले मलाई कमेन्ट गर्न सक्छौ, यहाँ बुझिन भनेर म त्यसलाई बुझाउने चेष्टा गर्नेछु, ठीक छ। त यो सबै घरमा रिभिजन गर्नु। इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास वी विल डू भेरी सर्ट एन्सर टाइप क्वेसन फ्रम द च्याप्टर स्फियर। सो दिस मच इज फर टुडे।